I also love the fact the Big 12 is about to get a whole lot bigger. And look, I don't want to leave my friends in the West out in the dust. I don't want to leave California. I do want to leave Cal. I don't want to leave Utah, Arizona, Arizona State, even Colorado, Washington, Oregon. I would ideally love to add those 6 teams. But now there's something new on the table. The SEC is not going to pick up all 7 of these teams. The Big 10 is not going to pick up all 7 of these teams. There's going to be, if you were to do a draft, then Clemson, Florida State, Miami. Those 3 schools probably looking SEC. They believe they have the prowess enough to enter the SEC tomorrow. And I really do think that Florida State does. It doesn't register in my mind a whole lot why a team like Florida State isn't already in the SEC. They have the close rivalry against Florida. They can utilize that. And there's the revenue. That's a massive school. Miami, this is a massive school and a relatively big brand in college sports, despite it not being as good now as it was 20 years ago. Then there's Clemson, still kind of an up-and-comer in college football. They had that one championship in the 90s, and they've done a couple here in the last 10 years. They've got really good stability football-wise. Where I'm looking as the Big 12, it would be awesome to have UNC and even NC State in this league. UNC is a powerhouse brand in college basketball. They are a fun brand in college football. They are always really good at college baseball. They bring what the Big 12 is looking for, and that's consistency across all sports. That's kind of where I get into the problem with teams like Virginia. They're just not very good at football. Their basketball is really solid. Their baseball is really solid, but they're really lacking in football. UNC and even NC State to a degree are 2 schools that have really good football, basketball, and baseball. Especially, what have you done for me lately? Those 3 teams lately have been solid. I think those are the best fits for the Big 12. The UNC, the North Carolina schools are the best fits right now for the Big 12. And when we talk expansion, I like those 2 teams as a fit. But I also like the idea of going after a Louisville. That's a fun program. Going after a Pitt, adding them with West Virginia. When you think regionally, this could work really well. Central Florida, UCF being in the conference now, and Cincinnati being in the conference now. You add Louisville in, you got a team that's close to West Virginia, a team that's close to Cincinnati. We're cooking here. You add in Pitt, and you got a massive rival with West Virginia who's coming to the conference. You add in Pitt and Louisville, you get a rivalry there. There are so many fun little mix and match matchups that can come from this swath of 14 teams that are leaving the league. Again, I'm pretty confident. Clemson, Florida State, Miami, probably not coming to the Big 12. They're looking bigger than the Big 12. And that's okay with me when teams like North Carolina, NC State are still on the board, and to an extent, Virginia, Virginia Tech. I don't love those 2. It's not really enticing to me personally, which is totally just like a me thing. I'm not interested in Baylor and Virginia playing every year in any given sport. Maybe basketball. Virginia Tech, they're good at baseball. Not great at basketball. Not really great at football. Like, what could they add to the league that's going to make this, this is what I'm getting at. Brett Yormark is not going to take a school that won't help this league revenue-wise. Brett Yormark is not going to take a school that's not going to advance this league when it comes to brand, money, exposure, building the Big 12 into being as strong as it can possibly be. I did see this tweet from, it's a Reddit thread. I thought that was funny, from Best Procrastinator. It's an OU fan. This is awesome. It is a draft. The SEC, the Big 10, and the ACC hold the draft where they go all 14 teams out of the ACC. The SEC, the Big 10, and the Big 12 host a draft, and they get to pick the 14 teams out of the ACC. Pick number 1, SEC takes Florida State, keeps the Florida market, knows the Big 10 is not going to take Miami. Pick number 2, the Big 12 takes North Carolina. Big market, good teams, academic school. The 3rd pick in the draft, the SEC takes Clemson. Picked them the SEC took Florida State. The Big 10 takes North Carolina. Big market, good teams, academic school. The SEC takes Clemson. Picked them despite South Carolina threatening a hunger strike. The 4th pick, the Big 10 trades the pick away. Trades down, deals the pick, the 4th pick, to the Big 12. The Big 12 takes Miami in a shocker. Gets a nice media market, travel partner for UCF. Miami camp looks dejected. Florida and Florida State are laughing so hard. Pick number 5, the SEC takes Virginia Tech. Panic pick. They wanted Miami. The Big 12 got Miami. Pick number 6, the Big 10 takes Virginia. The Big Ten takes an academic powerhouse with great basketball and once in a while mediocre football. The Big 12 with the 7 pick that was traded from the Big 10, Georgia Tech. Big 10 reaches for the Atlanta market in this as the Big 10 trades to pick number 7. The Big 10 reaches for the Atlanta market in academics. Mel Kiper hates the pick. Pick number 8, the Big 12 in a shocker. West Virginia walks up to the podium, selects Louisville, and chants, "Screw you, Pitt." Big 12 gets Louisville. Pick number 9, the SEC tries to pick Oklahoma State, is informed that they aren't in the ACC, then tries the same with West Virginia, is informed they are also not in the ACC, settles on NC State. Pick number 10, it's Duke. The Big 10 gets Duke. Secures North Carolina basketball. They secure the Boston market, hockey, and a nice little carrot to dangle out in front of Notre Dame. Picks 12 and 13 both go to the Big 12. They get Syracuse and then Pitt because, let's be real, no one's taking Wake Forest. And Pitt, pick number 14, Wake Forest. I like you, but there are like 15 students to go to your school, and this user says Wake Forest doesn't get off the board. So that is the idea that one Reddit user had. Why not do a big draft of all of these schools? Just the Big 10, the Big 12, and the SEC all get together and draft them out. Who says no?